Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli, and today we have a special one. You've probably been wondering, Matt, why haven't you had this guy on yet? But today we do. So we have the one and only, the James in the City. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm also wondering why it's taken me so long to get here.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I blame the team.
We won't say that.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I love you guys. So, welcome, man. It's been a pleasure. We've met before. We've connected many times.
I was going to say, I think we met, like we were just talking about it before we started, like 8-ish years ago at one of the Crestford launches. And then...
Probably. Well, I've only been in, this is my 6th year.
Okay, it's probably 6 years ago then.
But I think it was the Crestford launch.
You were
right.
new. It was at Halo. And we
Yorkville, right?
No, it was Young College.
I don't know if I was there.
You were.
I was.
Yeah. Because you and, what's his face were together.
Augustus,
yeah.
Your memory's better than mine, clearly.
I have like a photographed memory, so I can tell you exactly what you were wearing.
What was I wearing?
A blue suit with a white shirt.
So that was my only suit at the time. This guy's good. Okay. So, thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Maybe we could just talk about your memories of me, since I don't remember anything and you remember everything. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But let's give everyone a brief bio for those who don't know you.
Okay.
A little bit about James in the City.
My name is James and I work in the city. No, it's it's so much more than that. I built my brand outside of the typical real estate brand because I'm so sick and tired of having realtors be like the #1 realtor in Cabbagetown. Like, no, dude, you're so much more than that.
Yeah, it's true.
So my brand is everything from lifestyle to fashion to philanthropy to real estate. It's all things encompassing in the city.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you've been in the business how long now?
Almost 10 years.
Okay.
And do you believe it? I'm only 20.
I thought you were like 19.
Right. Really
good for you.
Really
started when you were 10, eh?
Good Botox and a lot of good.
Just in the blood. It was sales in the blood.
Sales in the blood.
Amazing. I was at 10. I was learning about geography and stuff. So good for you.
I think I failed that.
Yeah, I think I might have too. But let's. So you're with Bosley.
Bosley, yes.
Bosley
Real Estate.
And you're where like your main focus areas.
So I always like to say I'm DVP to Spadina, south of Bloor, kind of like downtown core. Mm-hmm. But my brand takes me through Etobicoke, Scarborough, North York. So it's kind of the whole 416.
Yeah.
But my main focus is DVP Spadina, south of Bloor.
And if you get business outside, you refer?
Yeah.
Smart.
You'll hardly ever catch me in Durham or Mississauga. No, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I still do parts of York region because I grew up in Richmond Hill.
Nice.
So Vaughan, Aurora, Richmond Hill, I still do.
Mm-hmm.
But anything outside of that is just a referral.
Okay, amazing. I'm learning how to take advantage of that now.
You know, I looked at it from a time perspective. Like, I'm going to sit in traffic for 90 minutes one way to go show a place, drive 90 minutes back to the city for what, like $16,000? My time is worth more than that. I'd much rather take 25% of that and do something else in the city that could make me $25,000. And
mind you, it's especially in this market, you go see that house. What are your chances of actually securing it?
It could have sold by the time you're driving back to the city to write that offer.
Exactly. I love that. That is, especially with this market, I think referring is super powerful.
Hands down.
To stay sane.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's your sanity. It's your mental health at the end of the day.
Yeah. Agreed. So let's dig into, first and foremost, the branding.
Okay.
I mean, just generally speaking, like how you built yours and maybe some tips, because if there's anyone who's done branding right way, it's you, right? And I totally agree with taking the identity off of like just the realtor. Like, you're James in the City.
Exactly.
Right?
So no one knows my last name, right? And if they do, that's probably because they've known me for 30 years.
Yeah.
If you don't know my last name, there's a reason, because I built my brand outside of my last name. Realtors have this thing where they start off, and I'm just going to use your name for an example, like Matt Campoli, realtor. Like, that's my brand. No, that's your name and your profession. That's not a brand.
Yep.
You work for Royal LePage, Remax, Century 21. That's the brand you work for. Mm-hmm. You don't have a brand. So for me, it was always James in the City first, Royal LePage or Bosley second. I've been with both brands. So I built my brand almost as an alter ego. And it started because I was coming off my parents' divorce. And there's a lot of like animosity within the family. And I didn't want to, go into my new career with a negative image. So I built James in the City as a little bit of a place to hide.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and let my walls down a little bit. And then it just took off because no one was using social media 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and I like how you mentioned like, let down your walls. Like that's so powerful, being your authentic self.
And
right?
Thank you. That's exactly it. And I'm sure you've probably heard this from, I know Virginia was a guest on your show. She probably said the exact same thing, where being authentic is the most important thing in your business. Because realtors are afraid to be raw and vulnerable and post anything outside of real estate. If you look at my Instagram feed, very rarely do you see just listed, just sold.
You don't.
But I'm giving you thousands of pieces of information on the Toronto real estate market.
Yep.
And I'm doing, I think last year I probably did like 30 ends alone from TikTok.
That's incredible.
And that's not leases. I don't do leases. I give those out to the junior agents in my office.
Me too.
That's just buys and sales.
Yeah.
Because I'm giving people information on the market. But I'm also letting them know that I've struggled with mental health. I've struggled with addiction. I have a shoe problem, right? But I also...
Let's show everyone the shoes right now.
Oh, they're a little dirty because I walked here. But they're, I don't know, these gold and green.
They're really nice.
Louis Vuitton sneakers.
They were at the talk of the... they were a hot topic prior to the show, but yeah, we'll continue.
Yeah. Anyways, I lost my train of thought here. But it's just letting people into my world. Because when I go on a listing appointment, the first thing, and this has happened more times than I can remember, where the sellers are like, how's Scott doing? Which is my partner. And are those new shoes? That's literally the first two questions. Forget how are you? Can I grab your jacket? Do you want a tequila?
Yeah.
It's how Scott are those new shoes? And it's because they've known me through social media. That when I meet them, there's none of that. I don't have to sell you.
The truth, man.
Yeah.
I've experienced that too, where I've literally, and I've gotten, I want to get into TikTok after for sure, but like from my podcast, I've gotten some deals and some leads. And I remember I had a listing appointment. Never met the guy. He loved the podcast. And I get in the elevator with him. I had just said, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. And he's like, I'm so pumped for you to sell my condo.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
That's it.
Not even like we want to get some background, your experience, your knowledge. How are you going to sell it? It's like, I'm pumped for you to sell it.
Because they're listening to your voice.
Yeah.
They're seeing you online and they feel like they know you. Gone are the days of the realtors who mass flyer and door knock and cold call. Does it still work? Yeah, but not as effectively as what you and I do.
Yeah.
And we had lunch right at the beginning of the pandemic in the summer, actually just right down the street here.
Yeah.
And we talked about social media and we talked about how effective it is in our businesses and how much we've grown and how we are jumping leaps and bounds over our competition who can't do what we do.
Yeah. So why do you think agents struggle? Maybe like just bringing their authenticity out or building their own brand for themselves. Like, why do you think that is? Because majority are just...
So 99% of the realtors out there are not business owners. They're not business savvy. They're not entrepreneurs. They don't know what they're doing. But again, it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, where they're afraid to post anything outside of just listed, just sold, because they want the public to know that they're busy.
Yeah.
There's that whole like fake it till you make it bullshit, which I hate.
Yes.
Right? By being authentic, you will get more business. Like, you probably have to dig to find a just listed or just sold on my feed.
Yeah.
Right? Unless it's been like a co-list or a collaboration or one where the seller has requested it.
Yes.
My sellers don't ask for that. Because I can promote their properties way better without saying, I just listed 123 Main Street.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I kind of get the, so you're going to post on Instagram? You're going to post on Instagram? Like, it's just become a thing for me, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
And I enjoy posting it. But to not be posting to prove anything is so powerful and so huge. And that just says a lot about, the confidence that you have and how much you know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Well, confidence is one thing, but it's also a little bit of like, I call it big dick energy, right? Because I've gone on listing appointments where I've competed against like the number one broker in Toronto for Roy LePage. And that individual is massive. Someone I respect dearly. But when you're competing with them, you have to have big dick energy because it's like you'll never badmouth them. That you never want to badmouth anybody. But it's like, how do you compete with someone who's been in the business for so long, who has literally sold every single home on the street?
Yeah.
Right? Your confidence is one thing, but showing them that you can do it is another.
Yes. So what do you think set you apart?
Again, it goes back to authenticity. Just by not having a facade. I want people to see like what you see online is what you get in person.
Yeah.
But it's funny because a lot of people always say to me, one, you're taller in person. So you only see like a tiny little square online.
You really are.
I'm a little tall. But people say you're nicer in person, which I feel like I'm nice online, but people don't see that because you get like a 15-second reel or TikTok of me giving my opinion. I'm very opinionated.
Yeah.
But I'm also a gay Greek Aquarius. It's like my birthright to be opinionated.
Aquarius too.
What day?
February 5th.
I'm the 13th.
What?
Well, happy early birthday.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Aquarius season.
Right? Best season.
Done. This is my favorite episode just now.
I'm sold. We can like take a shot of tequila right now.
Maybe after.
Anyway, so yeah, going back to my brain just stopped. So next question.
Okay. So, and mine stopped too. But yes, what I find a lot is times are always, obviously things are changing and very fast paced with social media and all these things online now. But I find when you're getting in front of these sellers, especially like there are the ones with the old school mentality still where it's like, how many homes have you sold? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A few and far between.
Yeah.
They really are. But I feel like there's more of the demographic out there or the seller or the buyer that really just wants that authentic self, because you'll have like the old school agents who are just like so salesy, man.
Oh.
Like you can just smell it.
Yeah.
You know? And so can the clients now. And I feel like people just see right through it. So when you have someone like yourself, where it's like, this is him.
Yeah.
I'm getting the James,
Yeah.
you know, I'm getting the Matt.
Yeah.
It just speaks volumes, right?
Exactly. Because when you're, the typical realtor, you don't have an online presence. You have a neighborhood presence because you've sold, Summerhill for 25 years. But you don't have that online authentic self. So people don't know nothing about you.
Yeah.
They just know that you sold, 61 Balmoral 3 times over in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But they don't know nothing about you. So who are they going to trust more on the sale of their house? Someone like you and I who are online, who have built this presence, who have built this name, who have built this reputation, who they know everything about, or Joe Schmo, who they saw their flyer in the mailbox.
Yeah. Not smiling.
No.
Arms crossed.
Arms crossed. I'm not going to, no, never mind. We'll just leave it there.
All right. We'll avoid the edit. Yeah, it's, what was I going to say now? Shit, you're good, man. You're good at getting me really into it.
I told you,
I forget
I've done podcasts from a bathtub before. Like, this is my jam.
I'll circle back to that when I think about it, but let's dig into the social media now, because I mean, you have your brand, but how do you showcase it, right? And you've done a good job, not just on Instagram, but TikTok. And I think you're one of the first agents I know that was like really persistent and like consistent, and just putting content out there and growing fast.
Yeah. So, it goes back to the start of the pandemic. Because I got TikTok in 2019 and I just browsed for a bit, got used to the platform. And then early pandemic, I started just posting like stupid videos, like trending sounds or whatever it was, getting familiar with the platform. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm missing a huge opportunity here, because I do this on Instagram. Yeah. And because I couldn't go to these events, I used to go to 11, 12 events a week. Yeah. I'm talking fashion events, store openings, restaurant openings, tequila tastings, like you name it. I will go to the opening of an envelope. That's like, I want it to be in your face, right? Yeah. So with TikTok, I saw this opportunity. I started doing what I was doing on Instagram on TikTok, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And my brand just catapulted. And I remember getting my very first call of a client from TikTok. I was like, is this real? Am I being punked right now? Like, where's Ashton Kutcher? Yeah. Like, I was like looking under like the pillows. I'm like, Ashton? Right? Ashton. And it threw me for a loop. And then like the 1 turned into 2, turned into 5, turned into 10, turned into 20. But now I've plateaued. I've hit a bit of a plateau. And I know exactly why. It's this whole cancel culture mentality, because people don't like to hear the truth.
Okay.
So there's this little group of very small-minded individuals who have used me to try and grow their own platforms, but in a negative way.
Interesting.
Because they don't like what I have to say, right?
Yeah.
They don't like that I talk about development. They don't like about the fact that I talk about growth in the city. They don't like that I talk about you should be buying real estate. Because I would much rather spend $3,500 a month in mortgage, taxes, and maintenance fees than $2,000 a month on rent. Because one costs me money every single month. Mm-hmm. One's going to make me a millionaire, right? Like, I'm Greek, you're Italian. Look at our families.
Yep.
Back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, they bought real estate. Yep. And they grew their net worth through real estate. Yep. People don't want to hear that. The ones that do, great. But literally from like December 22nd to about January 11th, I've had probably 1,600 negative videos made about me.
Specifically?
Yeah.
Are these other agents?
A couple of them were other agents.
Okay.
So there was another realtor, and I have a hacker he works for the government of Canada. He does like the security for the Prime Minister.
Wow.
He's a client of mine. He was able to pinpoint this person who's a realtor, his exact address, the exact time he made the account just to troll me. And he was making these videos about me. So it's very flattering that my name is in your mouth. Like, I love the fact that I live rent free in your head, right? Like, mazel tov. Find something else.
Yeah.
Right? It hurt my brand a lot because I'm at a bit of a standstill. Now I'm starting to see it pick up again because the negativity's kind of passed. I'm probably sure once they hear this, they'll probably make some other video, but whatever, go ahead. They look like idiots at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The ones who want to work with me see it. So my TikTok following has kind of stalled a little bit. My views have stalled. My comments have stalled. The clients are still coming.
Yeah.
Because it's people who want to work with me because they believe in they agree with what I believe in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have that much time on your hands to go and really personally attack someone and put all that effort into it,
yeah,
you could just be doing that effort for yourself.
Well,
you know,
this individual realtor has probably sold maybe 2 homes in the last 5 years.
Yeah, right.
And then the rest of the ones who are making these videos just sit at home and collect CERB. But I didn't say that out loud.
Well, but I mean, it's like you can take the positive out of that. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah. When
you're excelling in something and you're really succeeding, you're gonna have haters.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
You know, the thing is, I hate this as much as I love the online community because it's built my brand. It's made me, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
What I hate about the online community is the fact that people don't have the balls to say it to my face.
Yeah.
So I ran into one person who was trashing me online at the LCBO, and I gave them opportunity to say it, and they were like, what?
Yeah.
Spit it out.
Yeah.
You had so much to say online 5 days ago. Where's your words now?
Yeah.
Like, I'm standing right here. Say it to me, because then at least I can call you out on it. Don't say it online and then block me.
Yeah.
Right? Or say it online from a fake account so I don't know anything about you.
Yeah, right.
Say it to my face. Like man up, woman up. Say it to my face.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of keyboard warriors out there.
Yeah.
And some people, like, I mean, I'm sure you're good at really just deflecting it and like, okay, I don't have time for this. I will not even entertain anything. Some people just get sucked into it, and it can really affect you, man. And like,
it really did at the beginning of the pandemic. It really did, because if you know me, you know I've struggled with hair loss since my parents' divorce. Like, my hair really fell out when I was 19.
Okay.
And I've been thinning everything ever since.
Looks good to me.
It's a really good blow dry. But people would comment like, "Oh, you're balding. You're balding." Like, I see it, Susan. I get it. I see it every morning when I'm in the shower.
That's bad. That's disgusting.
Right? And that's what they come after, right? Or they'll say like, botched face. Well, during 90% of the pandemic, I had no Botox because clinics were closed. Yeah. So that was my natural face. That's why I go to Megan to fix my botched face.
Yeah.
Like, what they project is issues of themselves.
It is.
And I just laugh at it now, but it really bugged me to the point where I wasn't posting anything.
And this is early pandemic?
This is early pandemic. I was only posting behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, especially at that time, it's just like, this whole pandemic has just done a lot to mental health,
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't received a lot, but I mean, if I did, I'd probably be affected the same way. You know what I mean? And anyone would. It's hard to deflect or pretend like it doesn't bother you.
I have really thick skin.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I played sports. I was an athlete who was almost fully out of the closet at the time.
Yeah.
But my dad was very hard on me. So I'm very used to criticism.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shit online, it hurts even more because it's things you can't change.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you want to come from my business acumen or whatever, go for it. I can't change certain things.
Yeah.
Right? So I just laugh at it. The comments come in and I'm like, oh, I just smacked the microphone.
It's okay.
Did you hear that?
No.
Does that sound good?
I think we'll give the mic the finger. So I'll give it too. There you go, buddy. But you know what? You moved on from it now.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. I mean, and like you said, everything's starting to pick up for you again.
Yeah.
And the biggest F you can give to someone is just killing it. And just continuing to kill it and not show that it bothers you.
You know what's really funny? It's in my drafts. I haven't posted it yet. I went on a listing appointment a couple of weeks ago, and another agent in Toronto, not on social media, not that I know of anyways, they pitched the same listing, but they used me as a negative example of what not to do. Because, James is too busy shopping, or James is too busy getting his eyebrows waxed, or James is too busy getting Botox. Yeah, I do a lot of these things on my free time.
Yeah.
I don't post it in real time. But I do these things, right? Oh, James is too busy on social media. He'll never service your listing. The sellers, when they called me in, they gave me everything. They told it to me straight. This is what was said about you. At the end of the day, who got the listing?
You.
I did.
Yeah.
Why? Because they know everything about me.
Yeah. And you have an assistant?
She's part-time.
Okay, but you said you have junior agents?
Yeah, so there's a lot of the newbies in my office that are, less than a year into the business. They got all my leases. You want to learn the city? Here.
So what I take from that is you're just smart and you know how to manage your time.
Yeah.
It's not that you're not doing business. It's just you're just managing it properly.
Exactly.
Right?
And even now, like I hired a driver.
Yeah. There you go.
People laugh at me like, why do you have a driver? Like you live in the city. Yeah, dude, that's why I have a driver. Like coming here today with all the snow on the roads and the shortened lanes, my guy couldn't get down here with his Escalade. He drives a big ass SUV.
Yeah.
Right? Some of these streets are tiny. Where's he going to park? He's going to wait for me for 2 hours? No.
Yeah.
Right? But when I'm showing, and I have clients from out of town, I got this client relocating from Brazil. They know nothing about the city. Like they'd be completely lost.
Yeah.
They don't have a car here. I don't want to drive them in my car because I can't entertain them.
Yeah.
So my driver picks all of it. It's my mobile office.
Yeah.
They can leave their coats behind, their coffee, their iPads, whatever.
Yeah.
And we can go look at 20 homes in a day.
Yeah.
Which is more than I ever want to do, but it's an experience.
Yeah.
Right?
And like you mentioned earlier, like that 90 minutes you would take to drive back, you may have missed out on the house already. At least like this, again, managing time efficiently.
I can talk to them. I can monitor my phone. I can respond to other clients at the same time while still giving them the same attention. So I'm not missing anything else.
Or write offers right then and there.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's managing that time. So, what am I paying my driver? $600 a day? That's, I don't know. I think I've spent more on a lunch. Mm-hmm. Right? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to what my visa comes to. But, it's buying back that time. And I'm paying someone to do something for me to make it easy. The same way I have a cleaning lady.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my Sunday mornings cleaning my shower.
Yeah.
I want my lady to come in twice a week to clean my house.
Yep.
Because my Sunday mornings, I want to take my husband to brunch.
Yeah.
I want to go to Saks.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just enjoy my morning.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry about cleaning.
Yep.
It's buying back that time.
Agreed. And exactly. And what that does is it keeps you sane.
Yeah.
Keeps you balanced.
Keeps you happy.
Happy.
Right?
And then what does that do? You're able to service your clients better.
Yeah.
You're in a much better mood, which brings their mood up. Last thing you want is some like stressed out realtor showing up late, dealing with so many things. Literally.
Hopped up on Xanax.
Yeah, right. And you're gonna take their vibe on, and they're probably not giving you the best vibe.
Exactly.
So having that balance, like last year I made a point to myself, like, okay, I gotta start structuring some balance in my life because I was so go and I was burning out.
Yeah.
And this year I feel so much more chill.
I was going to say, from like the outside looking in, I can see your energy shift. Even from last summer, from when we had lunch with Ravi, like your energy has shifted so much where it's like, you're like a human Xanax for me right now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I just calming you down?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is good.
Cool. Maybe we should, maybe that should be my brand.
Human Xanax?
Matt, the human Xanax. I'll make a TikTok.
It could be like your Hinge profile. I don't know. Is that what hetero people do?
The girlfriend may not like that part.
Oh, that's right. You have a girlfriend now.
Yeah, she's Greek too.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Is it girlfriend or fiance?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She might get some ideas now after hearing that part.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she's a realtor too. So it's
that I did know.
Cool little dynamic.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I go way off topic sometimes.
No, it's all good. Are we at the 10 mark?
We're at 22 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So the last segment I get into.
Okay.
I told you this flies by.
Yeah.
You've been great, by the way. I like to get into market predictions. I ask everybody. I'm just curious myself. Like I have my own theories and stuff, but I'm like, I have some of the best agents in the city, GTA, come on here, way more experience than me, just started. I want to hear different opinions. So I'd love to get your insight into the current market, where you see it headed.
So the current market is really unsustainable right now. We can't go on like this for much longer. Unfortunately, we're probably at another 2 years of this happening. What I think will happen is certain price points will level out a little bit. Certain segments will continue to grow. The one-bedroom condo will kind of be, I guess, still like that entry point, but not as sought after as the one and done. Because if people are going to continue working from home for the foreseeable future, a lot of hybrid models, like I know my husband's company, Scott's probably going to be working from home and they're going to close their head office. Mm-hmm. And then he'll just work from home, or if he has to go into, he can go to like the remote branches. But their entire senior leadership, like the CEO, COO, and the VPs, all working from home. So I see the one and done model really exploding. Certain neighborhoods where it kind of going back to like the 40s to 60s, 70s era, where people were walking everywhere, right? So, and Bloor West is the perfect example, because you walked in Bloor West and you've got your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker. Other neighbors will kind of go back to that. So Riverdale, Leslieville, Summerhill, those walkable neighborhoods are going to see a huge demand because people don't want to drive anymore, right? So they want to walk to places. They want to make sure they can support local versus being in, not to pick on like, I don't know, Woodbridge, right? Like it's a great little town, but a lot of Woodbridge isn't walkable.
No, you gotta drive. I grew up there.
Yeah.
You gotta drive.
I grew up in Richmond Hill, right? So I was from South Richville. The closest thing we could walk to was Hillcrest Mall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't really want to go to Zellers and have hot dogs.
Yeah.
Right? Zellers still open? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. That's how much I go to Hillcrest Mall.
Yeah.
Or any mall. But I think that's kind of where we're going to see the market. I think another 2 years of this crazy sellers market will continue, and then we'll balance out a little bit.
Yep.
Just my predictions. I don't think we'll ever have a buyer's market. Not ever have, but probably at least not for the next 5 to 10 years. We won't have a buyer's market. We'll have a balanced market. Because we'll start to see more inventory on the market.
Yeah.
Once immigration kind of settles down a little bit, because there's a lot of demand from the pandemic of people waiting to come into the country, we'll be in a bit of a balanced market, which is healthy for both buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we have the appropriate amount of listings to buyers, but once it swings one way or the other, that's when the whole thing gets fucked up.
Yeah. And I like that perspective, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is insane, it's going to crash. I'm like, it can't just crash.
But and again, this goes back to the social media, and I call them the woke, and I use woke very loosely, the woke Gen Zs.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, the market's going to crash. It happened in 2008. You weren't even born in 2008, Susan.
Yeah.
Right? Like, simmer down. But the 2008 housing market was not a crash in Ontario or Canada. It was in the States because they don't protect their buyers, their consumers. We do. Yeah. We qualify people at much higher rates.
Exactly.
2008, Toronto was very protected. York region suffered a little bit. The outer regions were hit hard because they weren't as in demand. 2017, the same thing. The market did not crash.
No.
We just did not have the same amount of demand per listing. Yeah. So homes were still selling where they should have sold. They just weren't going 2, 3, 4, 500,000 over asking.
Yeah.
And the media doesn't teach you that. No. The media gives you fuck all. And it's up to realtors like you and I who open up, people's eyes to the real estate market that it makes sense.
Yeah. Lovely put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Because, but I agree fully, man. I think the next 2 years, just because of the supply crisis we have, and then eventually it'll lead to like a balancing out. I like that. I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, feel bad for the people who are just like selling it. I'm going to rent until it dips. Like, good luck timing that dip, number one. Right?
Yeah.
And it's probably not the best thing to do because you're now leaving the market completely.
Exactly. Once you get out of the market, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm going to rent for 6 months. Okay, in that 6 months of you renting for $2,000 a month, prices have gone up $300,000.
Yeah.
So what benefit are you doing to yourself? If you want to sell high and you want to life size yourself, and I call it life, so that's what Scott and I, we sold our house very high. And we life-sized to a smaller square footage condo. I mean, it's still 1,200 square feet. But compared to our house, it was a downsize in square footage, but you used 3 rooms. But it made sense financially. We bought probably about $1 million under our budget, and we used the extra money to invest.
Yeah, amazing.
We bought a couple of properties, and we don't need all that space.
Yeah.
We took advantage of a high market. We bought on a low market, but we bought a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We renovated it.
Amazing.
And we made some good financial sense. A lot of people are doing the same thing right now, where their kids are out of the house. They're selling their homes in Richmond Hill, Vaughan, Thornhill. They're buying, 1,100, 1,200 square foot condo in the city, and then buying something in Miami.
Yeah.
Or, in Boca, where they can go and spend the winter.
Yeah.
And then still have a place here.
And you call it life size.
Life sizing.
I like that.
Not downsizing.
Life
Because
sizing.
downsizing is negative. Life sizing.
Cool. We're gonna trademark that one
Hashtag.
for you.
For me.
Hashtag.
I want 10% of every...
If you're gonna use life size out there, 10%, 2.5 to me.
Done.
8.5. Or 7.5. So I know you are like one of the most knowledgeable guys I know in terms of knowing the city.
Okay.
Clearly just talking about like different areas. What would be your favorite part?
Oh, good question. I personally love the St. Lawrence market. Like that whole little quadrant.
That's where I live.
Yeah?
Well, I'm on Sugar Beach.
Okay, so we're like quasi neighbors because I'm like in Old Town.
Okay, nice.
So I like the St. Lawrence because it's got cute little restaurants, cute little shops. It's walkable. But from the St. Lawrence, you can get on the subway and get up to Yorkville in about 5 minutes. You can walk to King West in 15 minutes. You have easy access to the highway, and you're right by the water. It's not as congested as the west side. I don't want to live in King West because I don't want to see every single person I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But I will come for an afternoon and have lunch and dinner.
For sure.
But I don't want to live here.
Agreed.
That's just my personal feeling.
Yeah.
I would never want to live in Yorkville either because I would be broke. I'm there
Fair enough.
I'm there 4 days a week for shopping and lunch.
Yeah.
I could not live there. That's why I like the St. Lawrence. It gives me the proper blend of lifestyle, shopping, whatever I want to do, walkability, without me feeling congested and breaking the bank.
Yeah. And I recently moved to the city, and I that's literally why I picked the East as well.
Yeah.
Just a lot more airy.
Yeah.
The water's always nice.
And great architecture.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the oldest spots in the downtown core.
Yeah. It's just lovely to walk on front.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so nice to be there. And antique show on Sundays.
Right?
Bought some pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, it's been amazing. I don't really I kind of end off with just ending off, but I feel like you have a lot to say or maybe advice to give. Any advice to give out there to any like aspiring agent?
I think the one thing I can say to anybody is always remain humble. And that's one thing that realtors forget to do is stay humble. Because a lot of them come into this industry thinking they're going to make a lot of money. And they do.
Yeah.
Some make a fucking killing.
Yeah.
But they become just the typical douchebag.
Yeah.
And they forget where they come from. So always remain humble because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Love it. Amazing. Beautifully said. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Now you had fans. You may have even bigger fans or new fans. Where can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at the James in the City or on TikTok at James in the City.
Amazing. We will post your links in all of our platforms as well.
I appreciate it.
But again, it's been amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
I
for
feel like
having
we
me.
have a lot to talk about, so we'll definitely get you back on.
Yes.
And to everyone out there, hope you enjoyed this one. I know I did. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your grandparents, your kids, and your cousins. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.